NAFTA dominated talks between Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump this weekend at the G7 summit. Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver is joining us. So Tyler, what exactly did they discuss?
Well, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he was pressed for details by reporters. He initially said it was just a broad range of issues, but when, he was pushed, he did admit that there was talks about softwood lumber, aerospace, and steel. One thing that Trudeau did not mention, though, was the future of dairy trade between the two countries. Recall, of course, Donald Trump. He took quite a bit of aim at Canada just a few weeks ago with regards to how his accusations of Canada having more of a protectionist regime when it comes to dairy. But what's notable here is that the Group of Seven, they did come away with a communique calling for less protectionism across world markets. And that's interesting here because, of course, that dairy trade discussion did not come up between the two world leaders. But recall just a few weeks ago that the Trump administration did begin a countdown. It informed Congress that it was going to have 90 days before renegotiations with over NAFTA with Canada and Mexico would begin. So I do suspect we'll be hearing a lot more of the dairy talk within the next 90 days.
Interesting. All right, switching topics now. Some SFU students are getting a lot of attention for an app that they've created, and anyone who has, gone a little crazy looking for parking in downtown Vancouver might want to listen up because it could alleviate some of your problems.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because there's actually a study out from IBM. They call it their commuter pain study, and it says that drivers worldwide spend an average of 20 minutes looking for parking. And about 30% of all traffic congestion we see in cities, it actually comes from drivers just looking for parking spots. So these SFU students, they've developed this app. They just released it earlier this month. It's called Open Spot. Essentially, owners of private driveways, private parking garages, they list their spots on the app and what time it's available and what price it is. So essentially, this has taken a lot of uncertainty away from drivers where they're going to park before they leave the house. So it's very intriguing stuff. And it could even have some environmental benefits here. If there's fewer people out on the roads, it means fewer carbon emissions as well. So very fascinating stuff that these students are up to over at Simon Fraser University.
Yeah, it certainly makes a lot of sense. And Tyler, I didn't realize that people spent so much time circling around looking for parking. So
it feels like even longer some days, doesn't it, though, Sonia?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Especially if your AC isn't working in your car or something, you get really frustrated.
Imagine with the weather right now, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Tyler.
Thank you.